Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Fans of The Bachelor have been closely following Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple ever since their connection caught attention on screen. At first, everything about their relationship felt hopeful. Mature conversations, mutual respect, and a calm chemistry that many viewers admired. But recently, subtle changes have sparked concern among Bachelor Nation. Viewers began noticing that Joan and Chock appeared less open about their relationship than before. Social media posts slowed down, joint appearances became rare, and interviews felt more cautious. While neither of them has shared anything negative, fans can sense a shift that feels different from the early days of excitement. Sources close to the situation suggest that the couple may simply be navigating real-life challenges away from the cameras. Balancing personal responsibilities, family priorities, and public attention isn't always easy, especially after a reality TV journey. Joan has always emphasized honesty and emotional clarity, while Chock values privacy, which may explain the quieter approach. Rather than drama, this moment seems to reflect growth and adjustment. Many fans are now expressing support instead of speculation, reminding each other that not every love story needs constant updates to be meaningful. Whether Joan and Chock move forward together or choose separate paths, their time on The Bachelor has already left a lasting impression. For now, Bachelor Nation waits patiently, hoping that whatever comes next brings peace and happiness to both Joan and Chock, on or off screen. As the conversation around Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple continues, longtime viewers are beginning to reflect on how differently relationships evolve once the cameras stop rolling. What starts in a controlled environment often changes when real routines, distance, and expectations come into play. Joan has always been open about valuing emotional security and clear communication. Friends say she remains grounded and thoughtful, choosing to focus on her personal growth rather than outside opinions. Chock, on the other hand, has taken a quieter route, staying mostly out of the spotlight and prioritizing his private life. This contrast has led some fans to misread silence as uncertainty. Still, moments of mutual respect between them haven't gone unnoticed. In recent comments and subtle gestures, both have shown appreciation for the experience they shared. Even without constant updates, supporters believe there is sincerity behind their choices. What's touching many fans most is how relatable their situation feels. Not every love story follows a fairy tale path, especially after reality TV fame. Joan and Chock's journey is reminding viewers that love can be real even when it's imperfect or unfolding behind closed doors. As Bachelor Nation watches from afar, the hope remains simple, that whatever direction their story takes, it reflects honesty, calm, and personal happiness. Sometimes the quiet chapters carry the most meaning. With time, fans are starting to understand that Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple may be choosing intention over attention. In a world where reality couples are expected to share every moment online, their quieter presence feels unusual, but also deeply human. Those close to Joan say she has been focusing on stability, family, and maintaining a sense of normalcy after her television journey. She remains grateful for the experience and the connections she made, but she's careful about protecting her emotional space. Chock shares a similar mindset, preferring meaningful conversations over public statements. This mutual respect has shifted the narrative from concern to curiosity. Rather than asking what went wrong, many fans are now asking whether this is simply what a mature relationship looks like when it's no longer shaped by cameras or audience expectations. There's also growing appreciation for how both Joan and Chock have handled the situation, with grace, patience, and no public conflict. In an entertainment landscape often fueled by speculation, their calm approach stands out. As the story continues to unfold quietly, Bachelor Nation is learning an important lesson. Not every love story needs constant reassurance to be real. Sometimes the most genuine connections are the ones lived privately, away from the spotlight. With weeks going by, the conversation around Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple has slowly softened. What once felt like uncertainty is now being seen as a period of reflection. Fans who followed their journey closely are beginning to appreciate the quiet strength in how both are choosing to move forward. Joan has continued to show warmth and sincerity in her limited public moments, reminding supporters why they connected with her in the first place. Her words reflect balance and self-awareness, suggesting that she's focused on what truly matters rather than outside pressure. Chock, while remaining reserved, has shown steady respect for their shared experience, never dismissing its importance. This chapter of their story highlights something rarely shown on reality TV: the space between decisions. It's not about endings or headlines, but about understanding, patience, and listening to one's own needs. Many fans now see this pause as a sign of maturity rather than distance. Supportive messages continue to pour in, with viewers expressing gratitude for how Joan and Chock modeled kindness and dignity. Their journey may not be loud, but it has sparked meaningful conversations about love, expectations, and personal growth. As Bachelor Nation watches quietly, one thing is clear: no matter where this path leads, Joan and Chock have already left a heartfelt impression, one rooted in honesty, respect, and quiet resilience.
Many fans are beginning to realize that Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple's story may be less about public confirmation and more about personal clarity. After sharing such an intense experience on television, taking a step back can be a healthy way to reconnect with real life. Joan has often spoken about the importance of being true to herself, and that message feels especially relevant now. Those who admire her see this phase as a moment of strength, choosing reflection over reaction. Chock's calm and reserved nature has also become more understandable, as he appears focused on maintaining balance rather than feeding speculation. What makes this journey resonate is how familiar it feels to many viewers. Relationships don't always move in straight lines, and growth sometimes happens quietly. Instead of dramatic announcements, Joan and Chock seem to be prioritizing respect, privacy, and emotional well-being. Fans continue to hold space for whatever outcome lies ahead. Whether their connection deepens or naturally changes, the support remains rooted in appreciation for the honesty they've shown throughout their time in the spotlight. In the end, their story serves as a reminder that not every meaningful chapter needs an audience. Sometimes, the most important moments are the ones lived thoughtfully, away from the noise. As this quieter phase continues, some fans are noticing small but meaningful signs of gratitude from both Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple. In subtle ways, they've each acknowledged the support they received during their journey, reminding followers that the experience shaped them in positive ways, even if it didn't unfold exactly as expected. Joan's steady confidence has become a source of inspiration for many viewers who appreciate her thoughtful approach to life and relationships. Rather than rushing to define labels or timelines, she appears focused on understanding what truly brings her peace. Chock's reserved presence reflects a similar intention, suggesting that growth sometimes happens best without an audience. This evolving story has shifted how fans talk about love in the Bachelor world. Instead of chasing dramatic moments, many are now celebrating patience, emotional maturity, and honest self-reflection. Joan and Chock's journey has quietly changed expectations, proving that connection doesn't always need constant visibility to be real. While the future remains open, one thing feels certain: the respect between them hasn't disappeared. Whether their paths continued together or separately, the care they've shown speaks louder than headlines. For Bachelor Nation, this chapter isn't about heartbreak anymore. It's about understanding that some stories unfold gently, with meaning found in the silence as much as in the spotlight. As this quieter chapter comes to a close, fans are left with a deeper appreciation for what Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple represented during their time together. Their journey may not have followed a dramatic or predictable path, but it offered something just as meaningful, an honest look at connection later in life, built on respect and understanding. Joan's grace and emotional awareness resonated with viewers who saw themselves in her story. Chock's calm presence added balance, showing that love doesn't always need grand gestures to be sincere. Together, they reminded Bachelor Nation that real relationships aren't performances. They're lived experiences shaped by timing, growth, and personal truth. Rather than disappointment, many fans now feel gratitude. Gratitude for the conversations their story inspired, for the maturity they displayed, and for the reminder that choosing peace is just as powerful as choosing passion. Whatever paths Joan and Chock walked next, their story will be remembered not for noise or conflict, but for dignity, kindness, and quiet strength. And sometimes that's the most heartfelt ending of all. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.